Good morning all, and welcome to this interesting looking clock. Now this one has a bit of history to it. This is one I said in the last video that I was going to talk about. This is a Jungans half-hour strike with a few differences. For a start, it's in a rather unique case, which I've not seen before or since. I bought this from my usual place. I'm zooming in on the face because there's writing on the face, which I don't know if the camera is going to pick up. Trying to get in so you can read it. If you want, you can pause your video if you can see that to read that, but it basically says Pleasance and Harper of Bristol. Now that's where the interesting heritage of this clock comes in, because this shop where this came from was destroyed some point in the World War II. Now this clock also has another unique feature common to older clocks. Particularly, well, after World War II, clocks kind of went on to a different strike mechanism. Probably before, but some manufacturers stuck with the older mechanism, which we've not talked about. There are two types of striking movements on the market, or there were two common styles over the years. You had your rack strike, which is most common, doesn't go out of sync. You also have what's known as your count wheel strike, which is what this movement is. Now this one can be knocked out of strike, and as you see when I start this up and let it run, that this actually is out of sync. Now to open this clock, there's a button here. You press that with one finger, tuck your finger in the edge and pull it back. Well, that one's quite unique because that opens further than most. So in the words of Saab Kyle, let's start her up and let her run. A nice ratchety movement. You're common on your German clocks, as I say. Very common, but very nice. There we go. This key's a bit tight for this clock, but it does fit. In fact, some people say it fits too well, actually. But that's how it goes. Now, getting this wound up. Now this clock is out of beat with itself, I do apologise, but you can hear it starting to pick up. This was levelled for a different surface to where it is. I've lifted the corner so you can hear it better. Now I'm going to turn this one round and let you hear the strike. And you'll notice there's immediately a problem. There's the one. Oh dear. It's set to 9 o'clock and it only struck 6. What on earth? Well, this video is going to be a bit of a training video on how to reset or resynchronize a count wheel movement. As I have one in my collection, I thought I'd do not only a little review of this unique clock, but I thought I'd also show you how to reset a count wheel. So let's turn this around. This is a Jungans movement. To open the back on this one, it's just a case of grip the side and pull. Now there is a movement to be withheld. Look at that. That's that really solid tick. Slow, deliberate, solid tick. Now to reset the count wheel, there's a lever in the back. It might be at the other side on this one. Let me just grab the camera with that hand and see if I can find this damn lever. Oh, it's there. Right. You press it and you let it stop. You then tweak it again. Let it follow through. Not happy yet? Press it again. You basically got to set the hour strike on this to the time of the display. There's no other way to do it. Unless somebody knows a quicker way that I don't know, but this is how I do it. 1/2 past. And that's all there is to it. You just basically you set your time display according to what you need, and you then sort it all out from there. Let's take a look at this from a distance, and you'll see that that is one pretty awesome looking movement right there. I know you can't really see too well in this light, but I'm trying to get the best I can. Not an easy thing to do. There's your coil spring. There's not many coils to that one either. That's an unusual coil spring as well for the chime. It's a 2-train movement. As I said before, this is a jungans clock. Made in that Black Forest part of Germany, I believe, as most clocks are. Very, very solid clock. Now, the shop this was bought from, Pleasance and Harper, still exist today, but they're in Herefordshire. They used to be in Bristol. Let's just turn this around again. And, yeah. There. He's happy again. Now it has got adjusting feet underneath that you can adjust it with. I've just adjusted it back to the surface. It's not level now, but it's now set for the level that it was on in the other room where I got this from. So it isn't beating it in beat as it was a few seconds ago, but it still runs fine. I'll reset the beat for now, and I'll show you that as well. Now, a lot of you guys on YouTube, I'm not saying you can always help it. I've noticed there's a lot of people who do anything with clocks don't always get them in beat. Now, this is a condition that can actually prevent your clock from running properly. Now, this is what it sounds like when a clock is out of beat. Tick-tock, tick-tock, tick-tock. It's not even. See how it's slanting? It's kind of tick-tock, tick-tock, tick-tock. It's not a major issue, but it can cause your clock to stop a lot easier. I'm going to turn the levelers on this one now. That's really seriously out of beat now. Listen to that. I'm going to level it.
The time is now 12 noon.
And that's now perfectly in beat. That's where it should be. Notice the spacing between the tick and the tock. Tick tock, tick tock, tick. It's like somebody walking. That's where you really want it to be even, kind of. I'm going to put it out of B again. And now it's uneven. This is not particularly great for the clock. It doesn't harm it in terms of damage, but it does actually make them run very rough, and they will often run out of time as a result. Well, those are some common conditions that you'll find with clocks, as I say. Well, this one's extremely unique. I love the cabinetry on this. It's just something, it's bold, it's large. And as I say, the unique feature that I like is this opening button here. You press that with one finger and hook a finger underneath and pull that back, and that just fits onto that spring, onto that little notch there. Push it back and it's very, very solid. As I say, beautiful clock, fine example of what Jungans were capable of. And as the time is 12 o'clock, or just after 12 o'clock, we're going to cycle it, and you'll notice now it stays in perfect beat with itself. There's the 1, past, 10 o'clock, once you get these in beat this stay, which is really nice. Unless something goes wrong and your movement stops, and then you do run out of, you do then have to resync. If your chime stops, you do have to resync your time with your chime again. With a rack strike movement, that doesn't happen, because the rack will always in sync with the time because of the way they operate. A count wheel is an unusual clock movement in that it relies, literally as it says, a wheel with unevenly spaced notches. Now, at the minute it's on a long patch where the movement runs along, and as soon as it hits the end, the follower that follows the wheel drops into the groove. At 11 o'clock you'll hear the click. There's a little click as it locks up. So the movement gets dropped. At the past, it's one gap, one revolution of the strike movement, and it drops in. At 12 o'clock you'll hear 12 strikes and it'll drop in. And there it goes. Now, the company who actually sold this back in the day, Pleasance and Harper, are actually still existing today. According to what I've been reading, they still exist to this day. And as far as I'm aware, they still, I believe they still sell jewellery, as they did, but now they're in Herefordshire instead of Bristol. That's the only difference. That they're doing that now instead of what they were doing. They're still selling jewellery, but it's not in the original town from where it came. So there you go. A very unique clock with a very unique history. Thanks for staying with me, and enjoy this video.